Hey everyone, today I'm going to review the best longevity blood test providers in 2026. So what makes a longevity provider the best? For me, it's so much more than cost. You might think, cost or benefits, but it comes down to what it is they offer, how comprehensive their biomarker list is, what type of follow-through they have, what level of doctor involvement, monitoring, and treatment options they have. So I'm going to look at 4 key providers that I think are among the best depending on your needs, and I'm going to compare them for what it is they offer. I'm going to start with Lifeforce. So Lifeforce here provides quarterly monitoring. So they do blood draws every quarter, and they use that data to regularly update your information, which you can access in your client portal. And that blood draw is designed to help you not only see what your results are at the start, but monitor those results. And that comes with the doctor involvement. So Lifeforce has some of the highest doctor involvement out of all the comparable longevity blood test providers. Once you have your blood draws, you get one-on-one consultations from a clinician. Then you get monthly meetings with health coaches. And you get all of that on a regular basis to help you not only understand what your findings mean, but find ways to improve your general health and wellness. Now, in terms of the number of biomarkers, Lifeforce is not among the best. They test about 50 key biomarkers, but they design that for action. So we're not going off numbers alone. I don't want to know just how many they have or which one tests the most, because there's so much more to it than that. So Lifeforce is a closed loop system. So they capture your critical biomarkers relating to things like hormones, metabolic health, and organ function. And then that information is used with help from the clinicians with whom you work to not only get lifestyle recommendations for maybe things you can do to improve sleep or diet, but to find access to supplements, peptides, and hormones. Now, the biomarkers that they test are actually very relevant. They test for things like performance medicine, things that you can actually get help for. And that includes thyroid issues, testosterone issues, progesterone issues. Panels here are basically designed to make sure that you can benefit from your health goals, from your from the medications that they prescribe, and from any other supplements that might help you. In terms of treatment follow-through, they're also the most robust. So you can see here they test a lot of things, and as I mentioned, they do those quarterly blood draws. They give you access to peptides, HRT, clinical grade supplements. They are there to give you everything you need after you get your results. So from here, you'll see pharmaceuticals, you'll see supplements, and other solutions. So there's a lot that's tested for, a lot of help that is provided, and it's all done with regularity. Now, I'm actually going to look at Merrick Health next, because Merrick Health is somewhat similar. Merrick does a closed loop system as well. The difference is they do follow-ups based on the treatment you choose. So there's no set number. It's up to you to decide. Now, doctor involvement is very high here. They actually have a concierge service, so you can get help from different medical providers based on your results. But there's no set amount of labs. As you can see here, it's personalized. So basically, what you want, you have to pay for, and that's great for some people. It is designed for, athletic performance and whatnot. But if you don't know what labs you want or what panels might be most important when it comes to your particular symptoms, it can be hard to figure out what it is you need, and you kind of have to guess based on the panels that you want to add. They have specialty panels, total health panels, and then biomarker panels. Nonetheless, that is highly customizable. They are very granular, so anything that's not included in that standard panel, you can add. And that can be overwhelming, but it can also be a big benefit. Merrick focuses a lot on performance medications and HRT. So they have very aggressive and customizable follow-through. That's why they have that concierge service. So they're great for high performance athletes, especially people who want supplements or medications. And then we're going to come over here to Inside Tracker. Now, Inside Tracker is not that closed system. It's more of a data provider, much the same as Function Health. But that might be what you're looking for in the best longevity blood provider or blood test provider for 2026. So Inside Tracker is very flexible. They actually let you choose how frequently you have your tests done. So you can choose anywhere between 1 and 4 times per year. So you can do the same as Lifeforce, where you have it drawn every quarter. They have minimal doctor support though. So you get feedback and personal recommendations, but those are AI generated. So basically, AI is scraping the world of published peer-reviewed data and giving you a report that says, you know, based on all these things that we found, here is what you should do for this particular issue. So you're basically getting like a friendlier ChatGPT, but you aren't getting any type of clinical support whatsoever. That's very important. That may or may not be something you want, in which case they might be the best test option for you. That said, they also don't have clinical infrastructure to give you medications. So they test 40 biomarkers. That's the lowest number available. But from those tests, they're basically optimizing nutrition and performance. The hormone biomarkers you get here are great for improving your exercise habits and your diet. And that's about it. There's no clinical infrastructure, as I mentioned. So not only are you not going to meet with a doctor, but you're not going to have access to medical grade HRT or other supplements. It's basically tips for meal planning, for setting up your exercise routine, and then anything else you have to deal with on your own. If you do suspect that there is something going on that is hormone related, this might not be the best option for you because, you know, they're not going to be able to help you with that. In terms of treatment and follow through, very limited. I've already touched on that. They focus more on lifestyle changes. So it's very holistic, but that's about it. Now, Function Health is similarly limited. So they are there to provide data. And that's exactly what they do. They definitely have the most robust testing option, 160 biomarkers in the standard test. So if you just want the biggest data dump possible, here you go. However, they only do an annual blood draw. So it's basically a quick snapshot of how you're doing. And then the results get explained. You don't meet with a doctor. You get a PDF report. And it says that that report has been viewed or reviewed by a doctor, but I have no idea what that means. There's no information on what that means. Widest breadth of diagnostic criteria for sure, but it's entirely up to you. Once you get the results, that's it. There's no help from them. They're not going to give you information on treatment. So even if you do find out what biomarkers you have, if you do find out that there's something that needs to be addressed, you're not going to be able to address it with them. You're going to have to meet with your doctor or with a different doctor to figure that out. So that might be what you want, an incredible amount of data with which you can do whatever you choose, whenever you choose. But those are basically your key options. So Inside Tracker and Function Health both focus mainly on data. Function Health, widest data available, no treatment follow through beyond that. Inside Health, great data, but pretty limited, especially in terms of coaching support. There's none. Clinical access, prescription access, none of that's there. If you do want prescription access and you want customizable lab test work, then Merrick Health, but they're very granular and they're mostly there for improved performance from an athletic standpoint. And then Lifeforce is going to be there for that comprehensive closed loop system, giving you from start to finish all the resources you need, the coaching, the lifestyle changes, and things like supplements and medications.